Welcome, wonderful listeners, to the Shadow and Starlight Podcast, where two friends deep dive into popular fantasy and romantasy books. We get into the stories, characters, world-building lore, and so much more.
So buckle your seatbelts for this roller coaster ride of emotions, magical worlds, and laughs. I'm Kenzie.
I'm Kana.
And today we're covering chapters 1 through 11 of Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros.
I don't know why I just threw up deuces.
I love it. I love it.
First and foremost, please listen carefully to our content warning. These are adult books we are covering, and neither of us have a filter, so this podcast is rated R and for those 18 plus. Regarding spoilers, if you haven't finished the entire Onyx Storm book, please come back after you do so. While we are discussing the first stretch of chapters, we will be doing so with perspective of what happens in the rest of the book for better understanding. That way we can really dive deeper into the theories and appreciate the masterful foreshadowing of Rebecca Yarros. So going forward, all episodes on our show will contain spoilers for the whole series in question.
Next, if you like what you hear today and want more, please come back next Thursday, and next Thursday, and next Thursday, and next Thursday, and every Thursday after that for a brand new episode. As a Tyler podcast, we love to hear your feedback to better ourselves and expand our book-loving community. Please feel free to give us reviews, reach out to us on social media, and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and watch us on YouTube at Shadow and Starlight Pod.
I'm pretty sure we said once we got to Fourth Wing, we were going to be like an adolescent, like in our podcast puberty.
We're sassy adolescents now.
Yes.
Like Andorna.
Dragons, yes.
Yes.
Drink of the pod. I'm drinking ginger beer. It's delicious. You would probably hate it.
I said, like, when you said that, I was like, that sounds like something I would probably not drink.
It's healthy.
Ew. I'm drinking Minute Maid fruit punch.
Nice. Well, we have a big announcement today. And we have decided on which books we're going to be covering after Onyx Storm. Kenzie, you want to tell us the first one?
I think I remember the name of it. The first one has to do with metal. Metal bringer, slinger. Metal slinger.
Metal bringer slinger. By Rachel Snyder.
Oh, wait. It was right in front of my face.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to be Metal Slinger by Rachel Snyder.
Yes. So I've been seeing that one on Book Talk, and it's been getting raving reviews. So we're going to go ahead and cover it. We were thinking about doing The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, but I had a friend read it, and she said it may not have been super great in terms of like world building and mythology we can dig into. So we're going to do some newer releases also. Our second one that we're going to follow Metal Slinger with is Anathema by Carrie Lake, which I recently read, and I'm obsessed. If you like Xaden, girl, you have got to meet Zavander. Yep. But yeah, she actually just turned this into a trilogy as well. So book 1 and 2 is out, and then the third is going to be releasing April 1st. So we should be able to roll right from the first two into the third one. I'm excited for that one. Kenzie hasn't read it yet, but I just know you're going to love it. I mean, it's a Shadow Daddy, so I think you will.
I miss Fisher. I think after I finish Akatar, I want to go back to Quicksilver. I don't know why I can't remember the name of the book.
I finally got my sister to start reading Fourth Wing, and after she finishes, the next one I'm going to give her is Quicksilver.
Nice.
She started reading last night, and she got all the way past Threshing, and she was like, I'm obsessed.
Oh my god.
She was like, I want a dragon. I was like, oh my god, it's starting.
Of course.
So now we're going to get matching dragon tattoos, probably.
Ooh, I love
naturally.
That.
All right, let's get this party started.
Yes, it's time to cross the parapet, and Kana's going to lead us across the parapet. I hope she doesn't fall. Keep your balance, buddy.
I have crack energy tonight.
Surprisingly, I'm not too like for me, like just getting off work, but
all right, I like it. I'm gonna need you to get on my level.
I got you. So Candace's gonna lead us across the parapet as she takes us through her Shadow and Starlight synopsis, aka her unhinged summary detailing the events of these chapters.
2 weeks after the Battle of Basgiath, Violet is trying desperately not to face her rising panic about the war, the fate of her man, and the mix of grief and emotional trauma brewing within her. Luckily, she has a severely egotistical grumpy father dragon and a rebellious sassy teenage dragon to distract her with their constant bickering. After making it back from an uneventful Venom patrol, Taryn begins the pointless quest of reminding Violet why she is just a little bit Delulu when it comes to the Dark One. Ooh, that's actually kind of hot. Thank you, Taryn, for trying to give Delulu Violet some fatherly advice and supporting her in the myriad of ways she plans to court death. Anyways, hi, Iron Squad. We missed you. Quickly, we realize that tensions are wound tighter than they usually are at Basgiath. Aura bitch-ass Binehaven, yes, that is her legal name according to me, leads the charge of hostility to the so-called Oretian deserters and the Flyers. After a visit to Sawyer, Onyx Storm starts out rather spicy. Venom are inside Basgiath again. Pulling a trick straight out of Iron Flame, Chapter 25, the Venom have infiltrated, posed as scribes, to get to their bestie brother, Justin Bieber, and Jack Barlow. They descend a level to a terrifying scene. Dark Wielders are playing with their kill, and Violet's Spin and Twin is here. Hi, Theo, we hate you. Being the badasses they are, the Iron Squad and Zayden dispatch the Venom. Riddick reminds him that he totally could have handled that one, but Zayden doesn't quite agree. But Riddick, I believe you, my dude. After a quick catch-up with her Venom boyfriend, Violet heads to the Sonarium and lets them know Andarner's demands for Quest Squad, which are swiftly rebuked by these aristocratic assholes. Instead of her choice of squad, she gets Professor Grady, who I actually forgot existed. So basically, everything is going to shit super fast. Next morning, we get some delicious spice, broken short by Zayden accidentally channeling just a tad. This isn't looking too good for the future spice forecast. Ugh. We're gonna have to wait a while again. Talking politics while getting dressed, the lovebirds find Brennan outside their door along with a whole crowd of others, and Mira, who has been on a secret rune mission and is slightly pissed at Brennan. Family therapy might be a good idea. Just a suggestion. Later, the squad's chilling in the gathering hall is interrupted by bitch-ass Binehaven instigating mob violence against the Flyers and the so-called deserters. She toxically insists that anyone who won't accept her challenge is a coward. Dane, of course, fails to persuade to peace, and he is ushered into a signet challenge where he most certainly will be torched. Thanks to a reminder from her girl boss dragon, Violet steps into the defuse. Nothing like a little lightning to humble even egotistical riders out for blood. Just in time, the professors are back to further diffuse the situation. Brennan then comes to report that the Sonarium is functioning like real-world politics, so absolutely terrible. They rejected the plan to alter the runes on the Wardstone. No problem, because we know how much Violet loves to commit treason. The last piece of news, Zayden is now reinstated as the Duke of Tyrandor. Ooh, yummy.
As if he couldn't get any hotter. Like, please.
I know. Girl. I actually can't think of anything that would make him hotter. Actually, I can. Being a father. Ooh.
Oh my god, that would be so cute. I love that.
Well, Violet might be pregnant. We're going to talk about it. Maybe
we are.
Maybe not this episode, but yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of committing treason, again, it is time. Violet and the inner circle head into the Wardstone chamber to find her siblings waiting patiently. It's a whole family affair. While Violet is fighting the trauma of what happened here last time, Sawyer is able to successfully wield and nullify the rune that does not allow the Flyers to wield within. Who said treason wasn't necessary sometimes? Next morning in Battle Brief, Violet is swiftly arrested by freaking Father Atos, y'all. You've got to be joking me, Rebecca. It gets worse.
Wait, you have to do the Klaus. Oh, you didn't watch Vampire Diaries. It's like the Klaus scene where he's like, Rebecca!
Rebecca! But it gets worse, people. He's a general now. Who we still think is a traitor, but anyways. General Atos escorts Violet to the Sonarium. Violet has once again outsmarted leadership since her pardon was officially signed this morning, hours after the crime in question. Violet exits to find her super awesome loyal friends who she shouldn't be lying to, making sure she wasn't sentenced to be roasted. After General Atos bursts in to show us how desperately he needs anger management therapy, Violet stands up to the very small man he is. True to form, he threatens her friends, sending them to the front lines of Samara. The commander of Samara is equally as shocked Atos was chosen as general, and she lets them get some rest. After a little napperoni and cheese featuring some dream-walking hello second signet, they find out Marin's family's town outside of the wards is under attack. After running through the pros and cons like they would actually knowingly leave innocents to die, they plan a rescue mission. Arriving first and heading straight into a storm. How suspicious. Anyways, Violet and Taryn dispatched a wyvern before noticing who has set up this lovely little trap. Theophany, aka Theo. And also Garrick, our little distance wielder. Oh my god. Our lightning wielder and the second largest dragon on Amaryllis are tossed like ragdolls in a tornado. Making impact, the bond goes dark. Rebecca!
Rebecca!
Rebecca! Please never do that again. Also, I'm sorry if I just blew out your eardrums.
No, you're good.
Thankfully, Taryn is just concussed. Garrick rushes over to put Violet's kneecap in place while she questions how he got here in seconds while he was just on Xaden babysitting duty. They are so rudely interrupted by Theo, who confirms she lured them here with Marin's family. Since she is feeling chatty, she shares the name of Andarna's den, the Irids, aka the Iridescence Swap. After tempting Violet with the deal, Theo leaves them alive, leaving Violet to interrogate Garrick. Back in Basgiath, Violet gets a lecture about running into danger by her big brother and Xaden, who is overly irritated. Angry Father Atos is back, who is humbled once again by the family bond of the Iron Squad and the Duke of Tyrandor. Suck it, brah. After a quick mending, Xaden orders everyone out to kiss his woman. And that's where the first 11 chapters end.
This book was so good. I want to go back and reread it already.
I had to stop myself because I'm like, I'm going to do my chapters every week for the podcast for my reread. And then I just want to keep flipping the pages because I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. I love this part. I love what comes up next.
So now that we've crossed the parapet, it's time to head into our battle brief section where we will discuss all notable things in this stretch of chapters, including foreshadowing, theories, and our favorite parts.
Man, I want to know what Justin Bieber knows.
What does Justin Bieber know?
I want to know what Jack Barlow knows. Okay, anyways, so right off the bat, we get some Venom breaking to Basgiath to try and, we think, kidnap Jack, but we actually know later that they are there to kill him. And I can't believe I'm saying this at the end of Onyx Storm, but I'm actually glad Jack Barlow is still alive so that we can find out what he knows. It's driving me crazy to think that the Venom would risk breaking into Basgiath, and also Theophany ends up bargaining to get him back just so that they can kill him. So I'm like, okay, what do you know that they're taking all these risks to try and kill you? Maybe he knows a way to stop the Venom, kill the Venom outside of what we already know. Maybe he just knows information about the Mavens and the Sages that he could pass along, but he hasn't yet. I do have a feeling that this is going to be a big reveal in the next book. And I'm wondering how it's going to come out of him, or maybe he'll die and they won't even get the information out of him, because they did interrogate him a lot in Onyx Storm, at least behind the scenes, and he never broke. I mean, obviously Violet got some answers out of him, but not anything major. I wonder if he even realizes if he knows something important. I feel like maybe he saw something when he just didn't put the pieces together because he's an idiot. Yeah. I don't know, but I want to know what he knows.
I think that at this point, Jack is just collateral damage.
Yeah.
He's also connected to Berwin, who is connected to Xaden. So that could have something to do with it. And I don't know. So
maybe. It sounds like Berwin can control the initiates that are whoever's beneath him that he's teaching, which is interesting. I don't know if that would be like a compulsion signet, or if it's a Venom ability, or if like it's just something of their nature that ties them together. But I don't know. There's something suspicious. That Jack
Funny
knows.
Story. Vampires have the ability to compel.
Oh my god. I can never escape the vampires.
Never though.
Are you sad we're not covering a vampire book next?
Not really. We'll get there eventually. I mean, technically, we've already covered a vampire book, and I loved it.
That's true. I forget there's vampires in Quicksilver. I don't know why, because it's like it's a key component of the story.
It's a little bit of everything in Quicksilver.
Yeah, it is. That's the best.
All right, next we're going to discuss Double Agent Xaden, ? Because brother is playing both sides of the fence over here. He's Venom, but then he's also pro-Navarre. Then he's Venom, and then he's pro-Navarre. I don't really think he's pro-Navarre. I think he's pro-keep Violet safe, so I'm going to stay behind the wards. But he's still fighting for Navarre, technically. So, given that Xaden's transition is top secret, he played a double agent majority of this book. He was being Venom, but also protecting Navarre and like aiding them in the war and becoming allies and planning a whole treaty to sign, blah, blah, blah. He even killed the most Venom after the attack because of his ability to actually sense other Venom. Quote, I can reach the rank of Maven, lead armies of Dark Wielders against everyone we care for, and watch every vein in my body turn red as I channel all the power in the continent, and I would still love you. End quote. We love him. But this just shows that, like, he's accepted the fact that he's been in, but he literally will, like, still do anything to stay with Violet and be with her and protect her. So, I mean, he knows it's inevitable that he's going to fully channel. He still wants to be with her. And I think this quote also, like, foreshadows his full-on transition, but also, like, it foreshadows the one piece of his soul that he's going to have remaining at the end. Because he was like, even though I might be, like, full-on Venom, I will always love you.
Have you seen the theories where he put his soul into the ring that's on her finger?
I have.
We'll have to dig into that on another episode, but that's intriguing. I also wonder if this specific quote is foreshadowing to book 4, possibly. I don't know if book 4 is going to be a situation where, like, Xaden is in hiding from, like, Violet and the Venom, just trying to stay away from the mess, or if he is going to continue progressing within the Venom ranks and turn into the monster that he was in a few glimpses in Onyx Storm. Like, is he going to lead armies of Dark Wielders? Is all of his veins going to turn red? And is he still going to love Violet? Is that foreshadowing Rebecca? Or is that just a romantic quote from our dude?
I don't know. Guess we'll have to wait till 2027. Please tell me. This is not the real date. People were like, oh my gosh, y'all, she's giving y'all 3 books in 2 years. It's definitely unheard of for fantasy books. Like, give her a break. I'm just like, no, we need this book, like, this year.
I feel both ways. She almost didn't finish Onyx Storm because of, I think, how much pressure everyone was putting on her.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, like, understand from her perspective what it's like to suddenly get that famous and have so many people obsessed with your book.
And
but
it's like,
I hope everyone treats her with respect during this time.
Yeah.
Because we want her to be able to put out the rest of the series. Yes.
Fantasy's a lot. Dude, 2027? So long.
I'll be 27. Shit.
I mean, I'll be... How old am I? 22?
God.
What is it, 25? I'll be 25. I mean, 24. I can't do math, obviously.
Oh, gosh, you're such a baby.
I am a baby.
I am probably going to have a child before the 5th book comes out, and that's scary to me.
I'll be married.
Oh my god.
And I probably will have a child by then, too.
Ooh, that's scary. I can't think about this right now.
We gotta have bestie babies.
It's true. I haven't accepted that I'm going to become a mother in, like, the next couple of years, probably. I need to go back to therapy. Okay. I am on one tonight. I don't know why. Okay. Next thing we're going to talk about is the Duchess of Tyrandor. I thought this was an interesting quote on the reread. So after Violet has that whole de-escalation speech and calms down Aura and the rest of the Basgiath riot, Auric remarks, quote, she'd be a great politician or a general maybe, definitely nobility. And then Xaden adds, with that speech, at least a duchess. Holy foreshadowing. Oh my god. I always thought the book series would end with Violet as the Duchess, but not book freaking 3. Did not see that coming, just like I didn't see them getting married. I thought they were going to break up, but here we are. Yeah. But I do think it's good in terms of Violet's character development, how she's been progressing over these books. And I think in Onyx Storm especially, she kind of like realized my dragon is like the general of the battlefield, and that makes me a leader, whether I like it or not. And I feel like she's finally come to terms with that, which is good timing, since at the end of this, she's literally going to be the leader of Tyrandor. And that's going to have so many implications for book 4. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. I can see people maybe contesting the legitimacy of her rule because she is a Sorngale. And the people of Tyrandor might feel a little salty about that. I don't know. And also, like we said earlier, she pregnant? I don't know. Maybe. But we'll talk about that a little later. I am just really excited to see all the political intricacies of her being an aristocrat will bring into the book series. I do think she'll be a great leader, but I'm kind of wondering how this is going to play out when she still has another year as Basgiath. Like maybe Duke or whatever, Llewellyn, whatever, will rule in her stead while she finishes her death studies or whatever.
I can't believe she's still only in her 2nd year. I wish I would graduate already. I didn't didn't even think about that till you just said it. She starts to finish her third year. I didn't even think about that. I was like, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she doesn't know it all yet, so I guess she's got to. But like, yeah, at this point, when she's the Duchess, I feel like I'm ready to move on from Basgiath a little bit.
Yeah. No.
But we'll see what happens.
All right, let's talk about Xaden's lack of trust in himself. So I thought this was like really important to highlight because we've seen this characteristic from Xaden like book 1, 2, and 3, and I feel like this is also foreshadowing for not only the end of the book but book 4. Kana and I actually predicted that Xaden would try to push himself away from Violet because of his transition, but at this point, he is too far gone. This dude is madly in love. He barely tried to like resist Violet. The only restriction he had was like less of a physical relationship, but like he still wanted to be in her presence, and he still was like Xaden. Like he just wasn't going anywhere. So even though we predicted this for book 3, this might still be the case for book 4 because he does kind of disappear at the end. We do still see some resistance in book 3 in Onyx Storm, like him depending on the wards and him limiting their contact. Like again, like saying they don't really have a physical relationship, no more than kissing.
And, sometimes that is the hottest thing, though.
It is, but he was like,
it really built up that excitement.
And though we know that Xaden would never hurt Violet, we also know that he does not like disappointing or hurting her. And I think his self-preservation throughout the book just prepares us for his departure at the end, and just him constantly doubting himself and just preparing to actually channel. Because I mean, it was inevitable for him to turn full-on Venom.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I had zero faith in him.
I was like, yeah, brother, like it's not gonna work. You're gonna
I was just like, as much as I wanted Violet to find a cure this book, I didn't think she was going to, and I felt like his departure was eventual. So I was a little prepared for it in a way, but I feel like I just accepted that. A quarter through the book, I was like, all right, this is gonna be bad.
So I never thought that the cure would be that simple, though. I kind of figured it was gonna be kind of, yeah,
I feel that. Okay, we're going to talk about dragons.
Woo.
Little Miss Irid. I think that's such an adorable den name. The little
it Irid, is so cute.
Irids, I just
iridescent.
Put you in my pocket. Okay.
Irid.
So wow. Okay. Focus.
Okay.
Wow. Well, Indarna's family did not have the answers we expected necessarily about defeating the Venom. I do think that there's a lot more about her type of dragon that we will learn in the future that is going to change the plot. So evidence number 1 is just how fascinated Theophany was in this stretch of chapters as well. Asked about Violet's Irid, this stretch. She didn't even lay eyes on Indarna, but she said, quote, "You truly don't know what she is, do you? What a prize you've won." So she already knows about Indarna, and she's clearly fascinated by her. So why? Can you just share a little bit? Of course not. I'll get into a more outlined theory in a future episode, but I do think Indarna's magic functions outside of normal magic, and it's very unique, which is possibly why Theophany is so interested in her. And it's also possibly why Violet has a very unique signet. And I also think this may affect her in other ways. So in this stretch of chapters, Violet says, quote, "I throw my shields up, drawing on Indarna's power." So we know that Indarna has the power to sever magical bonds, and God knows what else. So I had a thought. I am wondering that after she bonded Indarna, I'm thinking that because she bonded in Irid, that maybe made her mental shield so damn strong. Because it was talked about several times in Fourth Wing how she had like the best mental shields of her year. And even like when she first kissed Xaden, he was like, wow, like you're really good at this. That's really impressive. Even he couldn't get a hold on his mental shielding for a long time. But she was just like, bam, got it.
Natural.
Like, yeah, she's amazing. Yeah. And this quote, Indarna's power was referenced in connection with her mental shields. I was like, whoa, like maybe that's why they're so strong. So I don't know, but I am definitely excited to learn more about the Irids and learn why the Venom are so obsessed with them in book 4. Thought we were going to learn about it in book 3, but here we are.
Yeah, that is interesting. And I never thought about that, but it does make sense. But my main thing I want to know about the Irids is like, so like we know they went into hiding because they want peace all over the land. They want people to change before they give their powers to people. But it's like, I want to know what led up to like them going into hiding, and like why they do all of this just to test humanity. Because like the world is like literally falling apart right now, and it's like y'all have the answers, and you have literally what we need. Like, you're just gonna let us kill each other off, and just, we have a common enemy. We all know who's causing all the problems. Yes, Basgiath is corrupt and toxic, but
yeah,
save the world? Question mark? Save the world?
Dude, they were such elitist assholes.
I was not expecting that. I was like,
I was getting so mad.
I felt so bad for Andarna. She was so sad.
And they were like, Violet, you're the worst person ever. I'm like, dude, what?
And so when I got to that part of the book, I was listening to it, and them talking to her, and Andarna sounded like so happy and curious and excited, and they're just like shunning her. I'm just like, that is so sad. She's like, but I'm just like, oh,
I don't like to see my little baby dragon upset. Okay.
And she was like in her feelings for a little bit. Rebecca!
Oh my god. I'm going to be editing, and all of a sudden it's going to be like, Rebecca!
Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yes. But the last thing that I want to just bring up is the Kids of Rebellion and their second signet. So it's going to be like really brief. So after finding out that Garrick is a distance wielder, we kind of put the pieces together that like, Rebellion relic equals second signet ? And I'm curious to see like what other signets the Mark ones are hiding. Bodhi?
Oh,
did we get Bodhi's second signet?
No. Violet asked him, and he was like, I don't have one.
Then he said, I don't have one, just like Xaden. Right? I feel like that was kind of like a hidden, like, yeah, I have one, but I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
I think he was like, I don't have one, just like Xaden. I'm just like, well, Xaden has two, so are you telling me you got two?
The fuck? Have you been seeing those TikTok trends where they're just like in a conversation, they finish every sentence with the fuck?
Yes.
Those absolutely send me. I think Imogen has one, and it's relating to speed maybe, because in the first book, and I think in the second book as well, Violet always describes her as like super, super fast. Like, unnaturally fast, which she describes a lot of the marked ones as really fast, so that's interesting. But Imogen specifically, so I'm wondering if that could be her second signet. Maybe she doesn't have one, maybe she has a different thing, I don't know.
And Imogen also was the one that volunteered to run with her, so maybe.
It's very suspicious of you, Imogen. All right, let's get into the theories. I am really excited about this one. I am forming this theory, and it's about what may have been the weapon against Venin in the past. So let's dig into this quote. The rarest of signets, those that rise once in a generation or century, have manifested concurrently with an equal twice in our records, both critical times in our history, but only once have the six most powerful walked the continent simultaneously. As fascinating as that spectacle must have been, I would rather not live to see it happen again. A lot of information in there. So when it says that the rarest of signets manifested concurrently at a critical point in history, I am thinking that this critical point was the Great War, when the Venin were last defeated, or maybe just driven into hiding. But I think that all of these powerful signets working in tandem are in themselves the weapon that defeated the Venin hundreds of years ago. So there's another quote in the stretch of chapters. The last time a Shadow and Lightning wielder fought side by side, they managed to drive the Venin back to the Barrens for a few hundred years. So that's confirming, I think, what I just said, is that the last time that these signets worked in tandem, that's when the Venin went back to the Barrens for a few hundred years. But anyway, so since Violet and Xadian who is that? Can I get his number?
Who is that?
Oh my god. So since Xaden and Violet are the first of their signets, Shadows and Lightning, super powerful, to live simultaneously since the Great War, I'm thinking that this is another critical point in history, and the other four signets are going to be manifesting. I think one of them is Auric, who has precognition, which speaks for itself. That's an insanely powerful signet. Distance wielding hasn't been done in centuries, according to Violet, but here we got Garrick just chilling over here. Dane has also been referenced several times to have tremendous power, which is shocking because his signet Doesn't seem that useful. I don't know, but I think there's a potential for him to be one of the six. And then I also know that once Rhiannon manifested her signet, Violet remarked on like how powerful and how unique it was. So that could possibly be another. And then I think one of the six is probably for sure Sloane, who's the siphon, which was Naolin's previous signet and is extremely useful and powerful on a battlefield. Which I think a siphoner probably would have to have been one of the six most powerful signets, because if you're able to like redistribute energy and magic on a battlefield, I mean, you can just think that is amazing.
Yeah.
And this whole theory, I really love it because it's giving almost like prophecy vibes, where like these six at a certain time in history defeat the bad guy, whatever. It is interesting because we now know how much magic requires balance. So I'm like, what is the balance for these powerful signets? Is it the sages and mavens with like the counterpart signet? Is it something else? I don't know. This magic requires balance thing is kind of sitting in the back of my head, just chilling, and it's kind of stressing me out.
Yeah, that's been a big thing they've been highlighting. Well, Rebecca has highlighted a lot in Onyx Storm. It's just the balance of power. And in 6, the number 6 has been used a lot in Onyx Storm.
It has.
So it's like, yeah. But I just want to piggyback off what you said. Like, I highlighted this part of my book, but I just kind of missed the amount of foreshadowing that was present here on my first read. So when they say like these signets only rise once in a generation or every century, that made me think like, I think the last time again they had a shadow wielder and a lightning wielder that was living simultaneously was probably 600 years ago. And it says they manifest concurrently with an equal. And that's only happened twice in the records. And they've only walked together once altogether. And they're saying they don't want to live to see it again. So obviously something happened for them to have to come up together and band together. And, you know, so I feel like this just gets your gears going. I think this is like referencing to the balance, like you said, that we learned about in this book. And in the future, we do meet Theophany, and she uses the word century quite often. And seeing as the Venom don't age, it sounds like they've been playing a long game and have waited for their equal signets to manifest. That's what it sounds like.
Ooh, I hadn't thought about it from the perspective of like they're waiting for their equal to manifest before they like going for the kill.
Yeah, because you know Theophany she was trying to go after Lilith, Sworn Girl, so she waited all those years for Lilith to manifest, and then when Lilith manifests, Lilith hid behind the wards, and Theophany never got to her, and then she ended up dying. So then that's when she started going after Violet. And then Violet said something, and then Theophany was like, I'll just wait another century. I feel like they've been waiting.
I think you're right. Dang. Very interesting. All right. What was your favorite moments of these first 11 chapters?
So this is not a favorite moment by a long shot, but it's just a confession that I think I should say publicly, because this means I have actually matured and I've grown as a woman. Okay, this book actually pretty early on in the book, I actually forgave Dane, guys.
Woo!
Actually,
say it again for the people in the back.
I forgave Dane. Atos. Yep. I did not want to hurl every time I saw his name this time, and I actually felt kind of bad for him, and I actually enjoyed reading about him this book. I don't know why, but I was like, oh, there's Dane, cool. I wasn't like, ugh.
Oh my god. I know you forgave him, but I didn't think you enjoyed reading about him, girl. I'm so proud of you, for real.
Maybe it's the toxicity coming out of me, but I think he's kind of hot now. Anyways, we're not going to talk about it. So I actually never told Kenzie this while I was reading.
Wow, that was a lot of things that just came out of your mouth right now that I wasn't expecting.
I'm already ashamed, okay? I never told you this while I was reading it, but
I'm gonna keep
chapter 8. It was chapter 8 when it happened.
I'm gonna keep sending you fan art of Dane until you just fall totally in love with him.
I never thought to say what happened. We know that I was like, he has to die for me to forgive him, and it's just like, at this point, Rebecca, you can't kill him off now. Like, there's no chance he can die now. Like, no.
I think 3 weeks ago you were like, the bare minimum this motherfucker could do is sacrifice himself for Violet, and now you're like, he's kind of hot, kind of like him. That's just how good Rebecca's writing is, I guess.
Nothing that he
Yeah.
did in the book one was acceptable. And this is kind of giving me Damon Salvatore vibes because Damon was a very bad person in season one. But we grew to love him. And he's really hot. So I'm kind of,
We forgave him a lot easier.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But no, I just felt bad for him because he got literally disowned. And I literally wrote in my book when his father said he didn't have a son, I really wrote, damn, like now I feel like I have to adopt him. Like I literally wrote that in my book.
That's your
I felt
son
so bad
now.
for him. Yes.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
Yeah. And I was kind of
Gross.
low-key upset and annoyed because that was not on my to-do list to forgive Dan Atos. Like I didn't think that was going to happen in this book.
I'm dead.
At all. Anyways, moving on. So next, obviously we got to talk about Taryn because I've missed you. I'm sorry. Like, welcome back. I'm so glad that we get to read about you again. But
Yes.
the funniest part, just off rip, like I love how Rebecca Yarros just adds the comedy into her books, but I just like cackled when we got to this part. And Violet was like, "Did you make me repair my saddle to teach me a lesson, or because you don't trust dating with my gear anymore?" And Taryn's like, "Yes." I'm just like, I love him so much.
There's so many good Taryn lines, and honestly, in like almost every single chapter, I was like, "I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you."
And then lastly, I just love how Rebecca Yarros is just so inclusive. And I love how diverse her books are. I had to highlight this part of my book because I just felt so seen in this moment. And I've been wanting to start reading like an African American fantasy book or like an urban fantasy book, but I just don't know where to start. And so in the midst of all this, Rebecca Yarros is just so good with her inclusion. And I love how strong Rhiannon is and her being just such a strong Black female, like one of the main characters and like a character that everybody just loves. And in one of the scenes to Stretch, Rhea is wearing either, I don't know if I was perceived it as like a headscarf or a bonnet, but she described it as a piece of silk on her head. And I was like, oh my gosh, I literally highlighted, it was like, I love the culture here. Like I'm always wearing my bonnet when I'm comfortable. And I'm just like, in that moment, Rhea was comfortable with Violet and she was like wearing her sleep satin, whatever you want to call it. But
Sleep
yeah,
satin.
so cute. I love it.
I don't think I even noticed that, but I also think like the first 10 chapters, I was just like, I was just like getting like the details so I can get on to like the more plot.
I saw it immediately, was like, I gotta highlight this. I love this.
That's cute. I love that. She does a really good job with diversity with all the ASL and like all the ethnicities, and she does not miss. I love her. All right. My favorite moment was Violet being a boss ass bitch. So not only did she stand up to Aura and get the entire Basgiath riot to just, chill the F out, she faced down every aristocrat at the Cenarium and the commanding general of Basgiath after proudly committing treason because she doesn't take petty ass threats and political BS anymore. She is here to save the world and save her man, and I'm here for it. And Book 1, Violet would have never done any of those things, and that's why I love this so much, because I love the growth. And my favorite take no shit Violet moment from this stretch of chapters was when she faced the man that almost got her killed several times with not an ounce of fear. Quote, "Your threats are just threats. I'm no longer the scared first year, unsure if I'd survive threshing or be capable of wielding. One of my dragons is among the most powerful on the continent, and the other is the rarest. You can't afford to kill me. On God, suck it, Atos. I love you, Violet."
Yes.
And the cherry on top was that the Iron Squad like totally backed her up. And then when General Atos was like, "I'll just go for your friends," they were like, "Do it. See what happens."
We'll still stick together. Sorry.
I know Father Atos went home and looked in the mirror and probably cried.
Yes.
I hope he did.
In his new big old general suite that he does not deserve.
Ugh. Motherfucker. That he wants to brag about to people that just lost their only surviving parent. Ugh. All right. My next favorite moment is going to be the Riddick Spotlight, and I'm just going to have a Riddick Spotlight in every one of my favorite moments for the next 6 weeks, so get used to it. Because iconic. Icon. And actually, this is shocking me because it's a Riddick moment, but it's not even a funny moment. But I did laugh out loud many times this stretch. But I do love in Onyx Storm that we get to see another side of Riddick, and it's like his serious, smart, and loving side. Not that he didn't have all that depth in the first place, but his character development in Onyx Storm really highlights him like taking a new role in the squad and being more serious in a sense, even though, he still jokes. All right, this quote, I love you like a brother, and I get that you lost your leg, and we respect however you're feeling about that, but you're still one of us. You're still a rider with all the benefits and shit that comes with wearing black. So with all the love in my heart, put your fucking uniform on because we need you.
Oh.
Oh, I cheered up. Well, I felt so bad for Sawyer because he's
Yeah.
clearly fighting some inner demons. But I do love how the Iron Squad is just so tight knit, like a family, and they just have such a special bond. Like, and this continues to be true through the rest of the book. Like, I was a little worried that like cracks were going to start forming when they learned what Violet was keeping from them again.
Yeah.
But that not even that broke them apart, so I think they're good. Probably forever. But really, this was just like the pep talk of the century, and I just love Riddick for it. So cute.
Yes. I love that this last book we got to see how loyal Rhiannon was, like firsthand. And like this book is like Riddick gets that chance to show his loyalty. And like, he even shows this book like how goofy he is, but like even though he's goofy, he still has feelings and he can be serious when it's the time. I mean, he'll still joke, but he can still get serious at somewhat when it calls for it. I think it's just so cute. I was laughing at the part where they found out that the Venom were posing as scraps and they were trying to decide. They were like, are we going to go up or down? And they heard her scream downstairs and they're like, down. And then Riddick's like, oh, yay, like risking our lives again. How fun.
I know. Literally, it's the fact that the jokes just continue into like the action scenes.
Yes. So to close out our battle brief and move on to the Book of Jacinia, where we will dive into the mythology that inspired Onyx Storm, as well as doing a breakdown on everything we know about the scenarium. Feel free to skip ahead to the flight field if you feel like you're already an expert.
Okay, so for mythology today, we're going to go over some of the new dragon names we learned, because we actually learned quite a few new ones, especially in the beginning stages of this book. And for anyone that hasn't listened to our other Empyrean episodes, we do also the majority of the dragon names in those earlier episodes. So go check it out if you want. Some of them have actually really cool connections to characters and signets, like Ternianok means thunder. Okay, anyways. And forgive my pronunciations. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I just can't talk. Thort.
It's pretty cool. It sounds like
I can't think of a different way to say it. It's Sloane's dragon. And this is a word that's derived from Scottish Gaelic, like most of the dragon names, and means taken. Which I actually feel like is kind of an interesting connection. At least one that I made, because Sloane was conscripted against her will, so taken.
Yeah.
You with me here?
I'm with you.
All right. Glaine is Imogen's dragon, and Glaine means clean or pure in Gaelic. And I'm like, well, she does clean memories, so yeah, kind of a connection there.
Yeah.
Cruth is Quinn's dragon, and this name comes from the old Irish word cruth, meaning shape or form. And since she projects her astrological form, there you have it, folks. Another connection. Cure? And I don't know whose dragon this is. I tried to find it and I was driving myself crazy, but I couldn't find it. And this is actually a French word that comes from the Latin word corium and means leather. And I'm like, hey, flight leathers. Okay. I don't think that was what she intended, but it's not even Scottish Gaelic. But anyways, Maze is one of the dragons in the mated pair that we don't know who they belong to. And Maze is actually a pet form of the name Mayreed, a Scottish Gaelic name that is the equivalent of the English name Margaret. So basically, whoever has this dragon has a dragon named Margaret.
Margaret.
Grime is Maze's dragon husband-wife. I don't know who's the boy, who's the girl. And this is actually a Scottish surname, and it's a variant of the name Graham. So not really a connection there, but now you're more informed, so you're welcome.
Now we're going to talk about the scenarium. From what I got from the book, the scenarium is like the highest ranking whatever. So like the people. And from my understanding, I only found like one like human definition on this. Not like fantasy wise, but like just one like solid concrete definition. And it is a Latin word that means group of six. There's that number again. So In the
Hmm.
Onyx Storm, the scenarium consists of people who represent each province of the continent. We're going to take it the continent.
Yeah, I think it's like all the aristocratic leaders from the continent.
Okay, so they represent each province of the continent. So you got the Duke of Chaldeer, you got the Duchess of Moraine. Well, that's how you say it. You got the Duchess of Elsum, you got the Duke of Lucerys, the Duke and the Duchess of Daconshire, the Duke of Tyrendor, which is Zayden. I got Cunshire. I know that Cunshire is right. I don't know what the
I think it's Deacon.
Deaconshire or
Hey.
Daconshire.
Or Yakkenshire.
Yeah, Daconshire. Or the Duke of Tyrendor, which is Zayden. And of course, the King of Navarre and the Queen of Peromio also sit in during these discussions, as well as Brennan and Llewellyn, who represent Tyrendor. And the scenarium, they come together to make a decision and call for a vote that affects the entire continent. So this is basically like their government in the same.
Yeah, basically. It's like what's that group of world leaders that we have in our world?
The House of Representatives.
United Nations? No.
Oh. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know. Something like that. It's like a United Nations get together.
No, I don't know. Moving on, it's time to head to our flight field, where every week Hannah and I will do 2 to 3 mini-series unique to our podcast, and they won't be the same every week, so keep tuning in for all the fun. Today we're going to do Would You Rather and Cards Against Basgiath.
Ah. All right. Would you rather be trapped in Jack Barlow's cell for 1 hour or be on the front lines for 1 hour? Basically, do you think you could fight Jack off? Or do you think you could not die on the front lines?
At this point, put me with Jack.
Bam. Maybe you'll find out what he knows.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he's like super strong right now. I'll just like hide in the corner. Start giving him like that serum that makes him weak.
But he could drain you if he gets his hands on you.
I'll just distract him with my boobs.
Classic. Well, what if he's a little fruity? It ain't gonna work.
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm stuck. I'll just tell him I'll join the fam. If he don't drain me, I'll become Benin. So I could be with Zayden. So I can sniff Zayden out, because they can sense each other.
I think I would rather be on the front lines so I can see a dragon before I die, because I feel like death is inevitable for me in either situation.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess. I don't know. Either one sounds terrible.
Would you rather risk being drained by your significant other during sexy time?
Yes.
Or fight off the venom like they did before we got to Onyx Storm.
I'm going with sex, obviously. At least I'm getting something out of it.
Yep. Same.
I just knew what my answer was going to be regardless.
You did.
All right. Would you rather be the commanding general of Basgiath or the king of Navarre? Or I guess queen of Navarre.
Basgiath. I thought that'd be fun. Fun role.
I don't know why I said I was going to be like, I'd choose the queen because I don't want the responsibility that comes with the general. But then I'm like, well, king is kind of like double the responsibility.
Yeah.
I think I just want to be president. Okay. When I was 14, I was like, I'm going to be president someday.
Nice. I could definitely see that for sure.
I don't think I want that much responsibility. If I had to choose, I would also choose the commanding general because I will have responsibility either way, and at least I'll see dragons every day, and also have my own dragon.
Okay, would you rather sleep with?
Yes.
General Atos or Halden?
Ooh, I'll choose Halden. He sounds
Yeah, I
hot.
probably would
Come
say.
on.
Yeah. I don't know. He's a little arrogant.
He is, but like
He's a snob.
he is
But he's
no.
rich.
But I would much rather take that than the smallest man who ever lived.
Yeah.
Anyways, I thought you were gonna say Berwin. I could like see it in your eyeballs.
I was thinking about it and I was like,
Instant death. But what if it was good though? Okay. So we're gonna do Cards Against Basgiath. If you haven't joined us when we've done it before during Fourth Wing or Iron Flame, basically I made my own wildly inappropriate, wildly immature, everything Empyrean Cards Against Humanity. I made a handmade deck. Literally bought the empty cards and filled them all out with my deepest, darkest thoughts. So we're gonna go through a couple of them. Mackenzie's gonna let me know which card she thinks is the funniest or best, and you guys feel free to leave a comment and tell us what you think is the funniest as well. So our first premise is the best thing about Basgiath is the blank. The blank.
the blank.
The blank. The blank. The best thing about Basgiath is Violet's dead father.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Killing Jack Barlow in the most badass way imaginable. Well, he's not really dead.
Yeah, actually, no, he's not.
The best thing about Basgiath is getting secondhand horniness from your dragon.
What was the first one again?
Violet's dead father.
Oh, dang,
It's really a mood killer. Yeah. The best thing about Basgiath is the fan art of Xaden. Yeah.
Yeah.
The best thing about Basgiath is dripping silent tears into your scrambled eggs.
It's true. It's true.
All right. Which one do you think is the funniest?
I think maybe the funniest would probably be dripping silent tears into your scrambled eggs.
That was going to be my second choice.
What was your first one?
Getting secondhand horniness from your dragon.
So that was my first one, and you said funny, and then I was like, okay.
You can just choose your favorite. Don't let me peer pressure you. Okay. I can't leave my house without blank. I can't leave my house without running a whole country and rebellion while also attending military school.
Yep.
That's Aiden. I can't leave my house without a gassy dragon.
Dang. Who's on here is gassy? Did somebody fart?
No.
That would be so lit if Rebecca
lit.
I need this, actually.
If Taryn just ripped one out of the blue.
He's like, what are you looking at? Like, it's normal, right?
I feel like Andarna would do it just to like offend Taryn constantly.
Yeah. I love how he's always like, I'm not going to dignify that with an answer. He's always like that.
Can you imagine being Violet and you're just like riding into battle and you're like bouncing up and down on the seat and then you're like, and you're just like, oh my god. And then Taryn just looks at you. He does like his head swivel thing.
Yeah. He goes into like how disgusting humans are and like
yes,
how ineffective our waste process is. I don't know.
Oh my god. Oh, this one's for you, Mackenzie. I can't leave my house without pining for Dane.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That was the perfect card.
It was.
I can't leave my house without wanting to eat my allies. At Andarna.
Yeah.
I can't leave my house without a mating display.
I gotta go with pining for Dane. It's a perfect setup.
I thought I was gonna offend you and you weren't gonna pick it. I thought you were gonna be like, I don't want to talk about it yet.
At this point, it's inevitable. I've already confessed it.
It's true. It's true. It's out there. Yeah. It's in the world. Well, not yet, but it will be in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay. The last one. You know what would make for a great children's book?
This one is scary. Okay.
This is gonna be scary. Oh no.
What is it?
What would make for a great children's book? A man on the brink of orgasm.
Oh no. Of course.
Oh god! Oh no! What? I'm literally pulling out the dirtiest cards possible. What would make for a great children's book? Vice Commandant Varish's Microcock.
Dang.
This is a lot of penis cards.
Okay.
You know what would make a great children's book? Violet sending 50,000 volts straight to the nipples.
Oh. Lightning bolts?
Mm-hmm.
50,000?
Nipples.
You would just die at that point. It wouldn't even be satisfying. You'd just be dead. You'd be like burnt.
You know what
Baked.
would make for a great children's book? The throne scene.
Oh my gosh. These cards are crazy.
Oh, no. It's just dirty card after another. I told you. You know what would make for a great children's book? Boning on Dragonback.
Oh. I don't even know which one is safe to pick at this point. I'm a little scared.
I don't think there is a safe one either.
There's not a safe answer here. I'm trying to think of what was the second to last one?
The throne scene?
I'm gonna say the throne scene because you could just draw a throne and be like, look, this is a throne. This is where the king sits. This is where the queen sits. This is a crown. Yeah, it's just I
don't think that's the throne scene they're talking about.
It's all right. They don't know that.
Yeah, that's true. It's fine. He's just like helping her tie her corset.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, that.
On her vagina. Anyways. I'm dead. Okay, before we close out our episode today, it's time to spar. So each week, Kenzie and I will give each other and our listeners 2 trivia questions. So let us know if you get the answers right or not.
Okay. So Lyra, who was almost sentenced to be court-martialed for helping who defend his people?
Fuck. Was it one of the other 6?
I don't know their names. Was it a 6?
Is it a name?
It is a name.
Halden Sr.
Halden Sr. is crazy. No.
I don't know.
It's Braxton. I don't know who Braxton is. But
What
that's what it says.
Yeah, that wasn't going to get it. All right. Name one of 2 abilities that Garrick's dragon has that is unusual.
The abilities that the dragon has? Not Garrick, the dragon.
Yes.
He's fast.
No.
Okay, wait. I don't know. I don't remember this.
He has the ability to block out his riot, and he's highly sensitive to runes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I would have never remembered that, though. Okay.
Got you, bitch. But you also got me, too.
I did. This is probably easy, but I don't know. What was the fake name that Brennan gave himself after the revolution?
Aesarai?
Damn. Okay. It was mentioned once, so I was like, let me see if she remembers. Okay.
Of course I do. I watch everything Brennan does like a hawk.
Yeah.
All right. What is the one great equalizer in battle?
Equalizer?
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate? Like, what?
What is the one great variable that like levels the playing field?
Oh, weather.
Yes. Wow. You made me elaborate.
Well, it's because I was like, what the heck does that mean? Equalizer.
That's fair. Okay. Well, we did it. That is a wrap on our very first Onyx Storm deep dive, folks. We're so happy you're here. Thanks for tuning in. Can't wait to see you guys next week to talk about it.
Yes, join us next Thursday as we continue our deep dive into the Imperium Book 3. And next week, we'll actually be going over chapters 12 through 22.
Ooh, it's gonna get good. All right. It means the world for us to have feedback from you guys, and we would really like to continue growing amidst the Onyx Storm release. So please take the time, leave us a review, give us your feedback. You can reach out to us on socials too. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't, or if you just want to talk about Onyx Storm theories, we're here to do that as well. So feel free to reach out to us, and then make sure to subscribe on YouTube and all major podcast platforms for a freshly baked episode to be delivered to you next week.
Bye, friends. See you next week.
Bye, friends. We'll see ya.
Woo.